Now, you guys, in 2022, Madalina Kojikari was an 11-year-old from Cornelius, North Carolina. So, in Madalina's home was her mother, Diana Kojikari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmer. So, Diana and Christopher had met online in 2008, but Christopher was not Madalina's actual father. Around November of 2022, Madalina started to miss a lot of days of school. Days had ended up turning into weeks that Madalina had not been to school. So a school resource officer tried to reach out to her mother and to her stepfather, but they got no answers. This made them actually have to go to the home of Diana Kojikari in order to try to reach her. So eventually, around December 14th, they do make contact with Diana Kojikari. And they set up a truancy meeting. Now, truancy is basically because her child had missed so many days of school. And she tells the officers and the people that set up the meeting that, hey, I'm going to bring Madalina to this meeting on the 15th. So the next day rolls around, it's December 15th. She comes to the school for their meeting, but Madalina is not with her. So now the school is like, okay, you need to produce your daughter because something is going on. And that's when she tells the school that she had not seen Madalina since November 22nd. So the school, they instantly alert police and police start their investigation into the whereabouts of this 11-year-old. Now, the first thing they do is they go out to the home. And that's when they make contact with Christopher Palmer, which is the stepdad. And Christopher tells police that he went out of town on November 21st. He tells police that him and Diana got into this huge argument and he went to Michigan to stay with family. Now, he tells police that he didn't come back until November 26th, which would mean around the time that Madalina went missing, he was basically in Michigan. This is the alibi that he's telling police. So there was surveillance of Madalina on November 21st and she's on the school bus. Now, I have to point out that after this surveillance, there is no sign of Madalina. She hasn't contacted anybody. She hasn't talked to any of her friends. And neither Christopher or Diana can tell where she is. Now, eventually, police go ahead and arrest Christopher and Diana for failing to report a child missing. Because, y'all, from the time of that last sighting in November to when the school actually found out she was missing in December, that was almost a month. And still, even then, her mother did not report her missing. The school did. So they both are arrested. And during this investigation, they question Christopher on what he think happened to Madalina.
I think Diana took her somewhere with maybe her Moldovan family. I don't know. But I believe that Diana has tucked her away somewhere where she's not going to be found.
So after her release, Diana actually flees to Moldova. So she was ordered not to leave the United States. And from what I'm hearing, they did take her passports. But she still made it over to Moldova. And that is the reason why Christopher is saying that he believes that she is hiding her out somewhere over there. So Diana is on social media. After she was released for failing to report a child missing, she went straight to Moldova and she's been posting on social media ever since. And y'all, this post right here stood out to me because in December of 2024, which would have been 2 years after Madalina went missing, she actually wished Madalina a happy birthday. Now, around this time, Madalina will be around 13 or 14 years old. And as you can see in this picture, this is not a current picture of Madalina. This is old. Y'all, this woman has been constantly posting on social media as if her daughter is not even missing. During all this, Christopher ends up filing for divorce from Diana, which is kind of hard to complete the divorce because she fled to Moldova. Now, y'all, we do have some updates in this case since this has took place in 2022. One thing is they actually found a burn pit on the side of the house where they all lived. So allegedly in this burn pit was Madalina's costume from Halloween of 2022. Madalina's mattress was also burned. And the carpet from a spare room in this house was also burned as well. Another thing I have to point out is during the whole investigation, so right around the time they realized that she was missing, Diana sent thousands of dollars back to her family in Moldova. Now she sent about $3,000 or $4,000 to her mother and sent an additional $2,000 to a cousin. Now the reason I want to point this out is because it's being said that she only had one family member in the U.S. And police believe that they actually saw Madalina with this family member at a Lowe's in North Carolina on December 16th, which would have been the day after police started their investigation. Now, nothing has ever come from that. They haven't said if they've seen her again since then. Now, y'all, her family actually says that they believe that she sold this child into trafficking. And Christopher even went so far as to saying that nobody would ever find Madalina. Now, y'all, until this day, we still do not know the whereabouts of Madalina Kojikari. Now, I'm going to give my opinions in this case. I think that on the night that Christopher left when they got into their argument, that out of anger, Diana harmed Madalina. Now, when Christopher would call and question where Madalina was because the school was calling him, she told Christopher that Madalina was sick. Now, I do think that once everything hit the fan, I think that Christopher did get involved and he tried to help her cover it up. And that's why you have the burned items outside of the house. Now, let me say this. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. We're not accusing anyone of anything. I do not believe that this baby is in Moldova. And for some reason, I don't think that she sold her. I truly believe that something happened in that house and that sadly, Madalina is no longer with us. Now, I'm very curious as to you guys' thoughts on this case. Do you believe both of them know what happened to Madalina, or do you believe it was just Diana, or do you believe it was just Christopher? Because remember, Christopher did leave on the 21st to the 26th, which is odd because that's right around the time that Madalina was last seen. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on this case, and I will keep you guys updated if anything else comes out.